Okay, 7 o'clock, here you come. Good morning, everybody. Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. A little bit tired today after the weekend of partying for my birthday. I had a very good time. How is everyone this morning? Are you good? So I'm going to be doing some channeling for the collective as usual. I'm also going to be giving mini reads as well. If you're interested in a mini read, all you need to do is check out that comment. If you're on here live with me, check out that comment that's pinned up top of the live chat and it tells you how to do it. There's a PayPal link in there for the donations. You can also use Super Chat or Super Sticker if that's easier for you. And then once you've done your donation, put a capital Q at the start of your comment, just so I can find it easily amongst the comments of the chat. I dropped a load of cards. Let's get some cards out then for the collective and see what the guides want to talk to us about today. Hey, Maria. Creation of light. Things getting easier. Things getting easier. Pardon my voice away. Things getting easier then, hey? What else? Oh, my party was extravagant. I loved it. It was so much fun. We all went down there about just before 4 o'clock. Set up, blow all the balloons, do the ribbons and all of that kind of thing. That was fun. And then went home to get changed and go back out again. It was great. Food, there were dancers, there was my friend who moved to the same island, he moved to the same island as me about around the same time, and he was my DJ, and I didn't realize that, and she didn't know. She booked him and she didn't know that we knew each other, and I really love his music too, so that was great. I was so happy that he was the one doing it, and yeah, we just had a great time. It was great. It was epic. Yeah, thank you. Hi Arabella, hi Carla. Also Immune Warrior. Wow. We've got Connection on Adventure here. Well, that sounds like fun. I was also on fire when it came to pool. I was beating everybody. A lot of fun. And it was 4 o'clock when I got home. 4 a.m. Hi Tara. Seen you for a while, Tara. And so, yes, yesterday was a bit of a write-off. Well, a lot of a write-off. I ate. I had some food delivered, and she said, "Happy birthday." She said, "I saw the pictures of your party on Facebook." Yes, it was epic. Self-care. Drowning doesn't always require water. Oh, let's take care of ourselves and make things easier. We might be going on an adventure with somebody. And there's the cards. Thank you, Tara. It was so much fun. Greatly enjoyed it. Best party. Best birthday. Not one of my old friends came. Not one Westerner came. Or made excuses the next day. Not one. That's alright. Hey, Sharon. Tarot. No. Lenormand first. Lenormand, tell us what's going on, Lenormand. Oh no. Okay. Excuse me a moment. Well, I'll pick all the cards up. There we go. Hi, Carrie. Lenormand. Got the scythe, something to cut out. I've got the book, Doing things by the book, cutting something out by the book, doing it the right way. It could be about ending something so it's a complete ending instead of things leaving things up in the air. And a bear, to protect yourself. So this is like ending something and making sure that all the loose ends are tied up, that there's no reproach after it. No reproach. Wow. Sounds serious? To protect yourself. Protection going on here. Tell us more. Coffin, again. Death and rebirth. Ending something. That's been draining your energy. That's been stealing your energy. A drain. It's putting an end to it so that you can start something. And it's not necessarily connected with the thing that you're starting. What I mean by that is, you know, you could be like starting a new business or something, and then you don't realize that one of the people that you're hanging out with is draining on your energy, and it's actually stopping you from having the right energy to do that new thing. It's not necessarily connected. Abundance. Something that's been draining you financially. Because I was getting draining from this mice rather than people stealing kind of thing. It's just a drain. And as I said, it doesn't have to be directly connected. So you might say, well, I'm not wasting money on anything. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that. You could just be hanging out with someone that is not of that same vibration, or a vibration that's conducive to that. So something needs to end, and it's got to do with money. It's got to do with abundance, but it might not have to do with abundance. It might not be apparent that it has something to do with abundance. Let's put it that way. It could be. Could be that. Could be as well. Because part of self-care is that too. It's financial self-care, you know. Saving and if we're living hand to mouth kind of thing, that's not self-care. Give yourself in a stress state, you know. So it could be about that. It could be about sorting finances out. Anchoring something in, so bringing something into the real world, tangible. Dog. A dog. Loyal heart. Of course, we're always with that message that you need to be loyal to yourself first. Oh dear. Dropping things today. Quite a bit of catching up to do today. Oh, commitment. Grounding it in. Okay, so we could be talking about a committed relationship here coming in. Someone that's loyal heart, but they're having to sort finances out first, cut something out, and do it by the book to make sure that there's protection afterwards. Could be talking about a divorce situation here. Something that's been financially draining on them or on you, to anchor a commitment in because they're loyal. That loyal love. So let's read them down. Something to cut out, something to end so that it can have a new rebirth, so that something can be anchored into the physical, so it can actually have a tangible thing. Business, house, relationship, whatever it is. Do things by the book so that there isn't a drain. Again, that loyal heart, you know, I do think it's about, a lot of it is about being loyal to ourselves, putting yourself first, advocating for yourself. So if something's been draining on your finances, it seems that it's time to sort that stuff out. Finances especially. Protect your finances for commitment. Be committed to that, protecting your finances. We've got to stand up for ourselves. The post took a whole month exactly, from England to the USA, with your statements. A whole month. That's crazy. From the US to Australia used to take ages. Like it used to, I remember when I was trying to get my tax number, US tax number. Just send it by snail mail like that. And it would take like 2 months, and they'd want a reply within 2 weeks of them sending it. No, you can't. You can't have a reply within 2 weeks of you sending something when you send it in the slowest way possible. Well, that's what we're talking about today. New adventure with people or with one connection. We've got to take care of ourselves, self-care, to make things easier. Interesting, huh? Well, let's get rid of you. What are you watching it for? If you don't like it, go away. Everyone has to be into the same thing. Fool. Okay. Tarot. Let's find out. Okay. Endings then. What are we ending by the book, and how do we do that and tying up loose ends? Or is someone else doing that? Maybe someone else is doing that. We have the Nine of Wands, Wounded Warrior. Oh, we've got some healing to do. Okay. Ten of Pentacles. It could be about ex-partners, ex-marriages, that kind of thing. Some healing to do around that. Or maybe the concept of marriage. I'm getting married from this Ten of Pentacles. It's when you've had something that you thought would last forever, or some kind of success that you thought was it for you. And the disappointment, the wounds that come from that when it isn't, that's the stuff that we need to heal. There's something to do with money here. There's something to do with money and abundance, and when you thought you'd got it sorted, when you thought that you'd made a good decision, and then it turned out not to be. Not about money. I think this is about relationships that it's talking about, and affecting abundance. The wounds from that have affected abundance. Maybe because of shared finances? Could be, but it doesn't have to be. Like I said, it's not always connected. It's not always apparent that it's connected. You know, you can do some healing and it might not appear to be anything to do with abundance, and it unlocks abundance. We've got the Queen of Swords next, so there is something to cut out. There's a boundary to be had. Don't forget, if anyone wants a mini read, check out that pinned comment. Comment that's pinned up top of the live chat if you're on here live with me. If you're not on here live with me, come along live sometime. We've got the King of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. There's boundary to be had. King of Cups, someone that loves you, and things are up in the air. Seems to be taking a long time. That infinity. Every time I'm seeing the Two of Pentacles lately, I'm getting this round and round and round and round. It just seems to be like, can never get off this treadmill kind of thing. It never seems to be sorted. Trying to get it sorted, but it's never sorted. It's just never resolved. I think someone's going through some difficulties cutting something out here. And it's carrying on and carrying on and carrying on. And they don't seem to be able to get out of it. A drain. And they choice in the first place was because of wounding. So anything that you chose, talking about you here, if there's anything that you chose in the past, maybe someone that you chose and married, or a business that you chose, or a job that you chose, or a house that you chose, or whatever it was that you thought was the right choice, but it all went wrong. This is saying that not only do you need to heal from that, but it was your unhealed self that made that choice in the first place. So the healing isn't just about repairing ourselves from that. It's saying we were already wounded to have chosen that in the first place. And that is why it didn't work out. Yeah, and that's why it didn't work out. So I believe that we're talking about relationships here. I believe that we're talking about two wounded people, because of course we are. And navigating cleanly these past traumas and stuff that had us choosing the wrong people or losing the money and stuff like that, just the stuff that hasn't worked out. But getting kind of to the core of why we chose that in the first place, those manifestations, because we locked that in, we brought that down like the anchor, you know. So I think we're talking about two people with the same stuff going on here, really. And this is why it's taking time to sort itself out, because until we go to that core wounding that had us choosing it in the first place, we can't proceed forward with those new good choices. Yeah, Carrie? And Arabella. And me too. And me too. Well, let's get into it more then. So we're having a new adventure starting off with somebody. Trying to. But we've got to take care of ourselves even more to be able to get there. Things becoming more easy if we do the self-care thing. You know, we have to put ourselves first. There was these kids at my party, idiots, real idiots that rolled in. I don't know what time it was late, and behaving badly. And I wasn't nice to them. And one of the guys said, "That's not nice." And I said, "I'm not trying to be nice. You come in my party here and you're behaving like that. What do you expect? I'm not going to be nice to you. Why do you think that you can do that and people be nice to you? Get out." I was just like, really, you know, like advocating for myself and my friends, and they came in disruptive, and it's like, no. Oh, what makes people think that they can do that? That they deserve like politeness and people being nice to them when they're behaving like that? What kind of entitlement's that? No, you'll get correct feedback from me. I think they left after that, I can't remember. Hey, Ashley. Distraction from grieving. Yeah. What have we got here? We've got the Three of Earth. Planning. Collaborations. What is it? Planet life. The Three of Earth is a result of what can be done when different elements combine together. Working with others or as part of a team will allow you to accomplish more, or even something entirely different than if you were to work alone. It's almost like we have to go through like relationships, any relationship, romantic, family relationships, working relationships, business partners. We have to go through these failures to get really good at working with people or being in relationships and getting that balance of self-love, self-care, and being in relationship healthily. So it's like we have to be we need to have the lessons in order to be able to do that really well. So we really are talking about people then, because this is like teamwork, connections, more than one. Okay. This does seem to be coming up for me. Maybe for others too, that's my next stage, is the working with other people. Joint energies. And of course, the wounding is going to come up, isn't it, from past relationships that went wrong? This is going to come up for sure, because we're scared to get into it again. Trusting people, going into business with them, trusting people, getting in a relationship with them. Trusting them again, trusting someone again, being open to that. The possibility of it all going wrong again. Losing out. Then we have the Four of Fire. He's Mars, isn't he? Pretty sure he's Mars. He is the warrior. Rah. Four of Fire shows desire for action. The situation is fraught with energy that's powerful and fast-moving. Fast-moving. Yeah, right. There's the need for courage, confidence, and possibly defensiveness. I'm very courageous now. I speak up. Whereas before I used to be nice when people didn't deserve my niceness. Coronavirus. She closes the book. There's that ending. There's some things that you're not meant to know at this time. For now, let it go. Just got to be going down this path and not trying to figure it out. Ooh. I think this is saying we can't protect ourselves. You can't know. We want to know beforehand that it's going to be good, don't we? We want to know beforehand that it's worth it this time. We want to know the outcome. You can't know it. We have to go into the experience and live it. Oh no. And let's face it, this is why we do tarot, right? Because we want that confirmation. We want to know that it's going to be good this time. And the trouble is, when the perfect tarot comes out, they're the carrots. They're the carrots. Yes, they're your soulmate, twin flame, perfection, and all of that in the cards. And we're like, great, this is it. And it's not. Carrots. Carrots dangled in front of our noses, making us think it's the thing for us and it's going to work out this time. If you want to come out, Ace of Fire, you always want to come out. I think for me, I made a lot of choices just without self-love. That was my thing, really. It's just, I look back and it wasn't any particular wounding. It was the general wounding that had me not loving myself. And so not ever thinking about myself of what would be good for me. I've made choices like that. It was for everyone else, for the whole world, for other people. Because it was kind of weird. Like, looking back at family stuff is, for me now, it's like they were trying to tell me that I'm a bad person. I was always the one in the wrong, causing the problems, apparently. But it was the opposite. The opposite was true. It wasn't me that was bad. It was them. Constant projection like that. But it had me believing that I was the cause of it. Well, it had me not loving myself. Then we got the Mother of Air. Crone of Air, Mother of Air. Ooh. She writes books, creates language, builds bridges with words and idea, helping you communicate more effectively. I'm communicating quite effectively lately, I believe. And then in bulk. In bulk is the thingy card. I can't think of the name of it. Tired. I think today I'll just do private readings. The star. That's the word I was trying to think of. I think I'll just do private read. I might do a pick a card read today. I'm not doing any dailies. I'll try and do as little as possible. In bulk, the baby sun god grows as he's nurtured by the Great Mother. Pagans begin calling to Goddess, asking her to return from the underworld, while Yule celebrates the return of the sun. In bulk rejoices the first signs of spring. When the snow and ice of winter begin to thaw and new lives begin. In bulk means in the belly. Oy milk means ewe's milk, signifying a clear connection between this holiday and the lamb soon to be born. During this celebration, witches focus on purification, time of cleaning things out, both literally and symbolically. Cleaning things out and healing ourselves, and it not seeming like it's directly connected, but it is. It's healing, it's hope, it's peace, comfort, guidance, direction, a light in the darkness, gentle refreshment. There's healing to be done. Healing to be done. Oh yeah. I don't remember getting home from my party at all. Luckily my friend brought me and she took care of me. Because people will buy me shots right at the end. I always think that's a good idea and it's not. But I made coffee. I was surprised to wake up to find coffee next to me. But the other weird thing was, I woke up after midday, which is very strange for me. Usually I'm up really early in the morning, whether I've been out or not. And it said that I'd slept for 7 hours, 7.5 hours or something on my watch. But it also said that there's only 2 of those hours that I hadn't been walking around. Oh, because I hit my standing up early in the day. And I'm like, what? I checked it out. I'm like, what was I doing in my sleep? Maybe probably just moving in the bed. I don't know. Very strange. If you're not in our Facebook group, join it. There's the link to it. Yes, there's healing to be done. Could be about communicating something. There's healing to be done so that we can set off on this new journey without being too scared about it. So fear is holding us back. And it's the past wounding. Past wounding that got us to choose the things that wounded us even more. Maiden of Earth and the Three of Air. The Maiden of Earth. So she's light and free there. You see, that's the creation of light card, isn't it? It's very similar. Youthful energies. In the garden, enjoying it. Not burdened by stuff anymore. The Maiden of Earth. Taking things lightly. She takes a place among the new blossoms. Oh, so it's like springtime of our lives as well, not just springtime in the Northern Hemisphere. She brings a sense of lightness and gratitude, a joyful appreciation and celebration of everyday blessings. Yeah, unencumbered, light, being able to go forward into this thing. And the Three of Air. Oh, it was so fun. It was so fun. Extravagant fun. It cost a fair bit too. But I'm happy to, pay all those people to make it like that. It was so good. I wasn't expecting to pay that much for balloons, though. Someone decided to rip me off there. 480 baht. 2 bags of balloons. But the only ones on the island, so I had to pay it. Assholes. Anyway, 3 of our is crying. The 3 of our represents finding the truth by looking at something with different eyes or from another point of view. When you look at something through a different lens, deception or misinformation caused by distorted perception. Hang on. There's something that we need to look at in the past here with a different perspective. So it'll be something that you felt a victim to. That's what this reading is saying. Something you felt a victim to that you feel has wounded you and you've got wounds from it. This is saying look at it a different way. You chose it in the first place because of woundings. It's not wounded you, you weren't the victim. Well, it has that too, but it was previous wounding before that had you doing choosing that, and so the choice itself means that you chose it. I think it's because we need to have confidence in ourselves that we're not going to make these same mistakes again. And so we need to, it's not just about healing this is about recognizing that we're not that person anymore that would choose those things. We don't need to be so scared of the choices that we're making. I think that's what it's saying. Something can't proceed forward at the moment because of this. And it feels like fear that maybe we're not healed enough yet or whatever. Thanks, Catherine, for your donation. Well, let's do that then. Catherine, I'm going to get my cards. Oh, yeah. Love and relationship reading for Catherine. Oh, wow. You got to let something go. Let go of the story. It's like you're repeating the same thing again. You know when... Have you ever had a partner that just keeps on telling you the same thing again, they won't let it go? It's like they can't get over something, so they just keep on repeating it. Like, you did this. And you tell them, yeah, I know, and I'm sorry, and this is why I did it, and you've processed it completely, but they won't accept it, and they keep on saying it. They won't let go of that story. But they just cannot let it go. You're doing something like that, you're not letting it go. Maybe something to do with an ex or current partner, I don't know. But this has you in a kind of blocked energy because of it. It's like, let it go. Now, let it go. Something that you can't forgive someone for, that it still doesn't make sense to you, something like that. I mean, you might not be repeating the story to them, you might not be going on about it to them, but it's going around and around and around in your mind still. Listen and choose to change. There you go. It's a similar story than these cards are saying. So you chose it. You chose it in the first place. And so you have the power to change that and to choose differently this time. Yeah, so whatever it is you've experienced in relationships that you didn't like, it's still a story that's going around for you. And it feels like this is saying it's time to accept responsibility for it, that you chose it. Because when you do that, you can figure out why you chose it, what wounding had you choosing it, and you can do it differently. Then you've got the power to do it differently. You can choose to change, right? But if we go around going, no, I'm a victim to it, it was all them, it wasn't me. It's, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult we can't change it because we think that random events are just happening to us and we're not the chooser of it. So you don't want to get attached, yeah. Could be. It could also be something like, I know something that I say, it's long been a story of mine that I'm realizing now is just a story when it comes to romantic relationships. Is I'll say, or I used to say that freedom is really important to me. And now, in fact, not just relationships, I used to say about money, I used to say about all things. And I wouldn't, it was an excuse when I didn't want to really step up and do the self-care properly for myself. You know, like before I was saying, self-care can be about finances as well. I would have this story and say, oh, well, I'm not doing that thing because freedom is more important to me. It was an excuse. An excuse is what it was. I heard lots of those yesterday. Yeah. So it could be something like that too. Drowning doesn't always require water. Self-care. You can tell ourselves stories. We can have a story that is explaining a sabotage away. Could be something like that. Anyway, try and listen to what's behind that. Question yourself. Listen to what's behind that. Why do I keep on saying that thing to myself? It might be revealed to you. Interesting. Thanks for your donation and your question. Okay, back to the tarot. I don't want to do those ones. I want to do these. Let's do the Starchild tarot because I've not used it for ages. Okay, add to this story then. Freedom. Yeah, could be that. It popped into my head anyway. It's one that I used to. Oh, there it is again. The Ten of Crystals. This is about success. It's when it can be marriage and a family. It can be business success. It's the culmination of when something's worked out, and we think like, yeah, like it could be business. It could be, for as much as this business has been all that I've needed to do, it still should. I feel like it should be way more successful than it is, unless it's just not what I'm supposed to be doing anymore. Ten of Crystals. When you think it should have worked out to be more successful. Let's read it out of the book. There's probably something in there. Ten of Crystals. Because sometimes we're disappointed, aren't we, by what we put our efforts into, and it doesn't seem to have paid off in the way that we wanted it to pay off. So the energy that we've put into relationships and We didn't get what we thought we wanted from that relationship. What we thought we wanted, right? The 10 of crystals. We got what we needed from it, which isn't necessarily the best thing. Well, it is the best thing for us, but it doesn't feel the best. Lessons don't. This is a card of stability and completion. After all your hard work, you'll be experiencing a state of financial security and lasting abundance. You've built a strong foundation upon which you can rest and reap the benefits of everything you've worked toward. It's an indication of many blessings within your home, family, and future endeavors. Take this time to experience the freedom you've created for yourself. Enjoy life's simple pleasures. But don't forget to be generous with the knowledge or the wealth you've gained. So I am feeling this more reversed energy there in this, with this card. So a lack of security or stability. Could be that you need to start from the beginning and build a strong foundation before you can reach a sense of fulfillment or completion. Are you pursuing what truly makes you happy? How are your relationships with the people you love? What are your long-term goals? Long-term goals. It's when we know we're loving ourselves, when we've got long-term goals. You know, a lot of spiritual teachings, people get into that when they're wounded. You get into doing the spiritual stuff when you're wounded. And so most spiritual teachings are by wounded people. It's coming from a place of woundedness. And so then we look at like some people teaching about like freedom and non-attachment and all of that kind of thing, and that's the way to be, but it's avoidance, and it's avoidance of life, and it's coming from a sabotage, it's coming from a wounding. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful, yeah. What are we trying to do anyway? Are we trying to have that happy ever after? What are your long-term goals? And it's things like that, you know, self-care and self-love. You all have long-term goals and you were doing that kind of thing. And a lot of spiritual teachings wouldn't advocate for that. They don't advocate for empowerment or anything like that. So it's very, very much how to be wounded. Spiritual teachings, how to be wounded. How to best deal with this wounding, or how to bypass this wounding. The 5 of Swords. Chaos and conflict. And the 9 of Cups. Instead of wishes fulfilled. Chaos and conflict instead of wishes fulfilled. Think you're choosing something that's going to culminate in something really good, and it's more drama, chaos, conflict. 5 of Swords. Or you thought you were choosing something that was going to be good in the end. 5 of Swords indicates a state of entrapment or negativity that's been self-inflicted. This is the key, this, self-inflicted. We've been doing it to ourselves, and we need to realize how, so that we don't. Through conflict, disagreements, or impulsive behaviors, there's been an involuntary burdening of yourself or others. It's important to step back and take a look at the bigger picture. Put everything in perspective and realize where your true priorities and truths lie. How are your opinions and views more important than your relationships? That's an interesting question, isn't it? How are your opinions and views more important than your relationships? How are you affecting other people? Don't really care. Is your ambition coming from a place of love or fear? How can your words and actions transform this difficult situation? Defeat, loss, disillusionment, gossip, mistrust. A shift in negative energy to a positive change. A shift in negative A shift in negative energy to one of positive change. A need for closure before being able to move forward. Fears associated with the past traumas and memories. There it is. Unresolved issues. Could also be that others may not agree with the direction you're headed in. Stand strong and listen to your inner voice. Do not let the negative thoughts or opinions of others affect you. It's interesting, in the past few days, the energy updates, and you'll see that I pre-recorded it a long time ago because I had the swimming costume dress on. It was from Songkran in today's. But the last few days, the last week, they've been spot on for me, those energy updates. One in particular, I realized I'd watched it in the morning, the day played out like that, and then I remembered at the end of the day, oh, that's what it was all about. And it was all about letting something play out by itself, just letting it play out. It's about the gym, and it's about something that someone else has decided they're going to do, which is very much in conflict with what I want to do. And I just felt like it doesn't matter, this isn't going to happen. What they're saying, it's pie in the sky, it's not possible. Even if they do it, it's going to fail. So I just go, okay, and then take a step back and let that fizzle out. Let that fizzle out. You should start watching something else, Tara Destroyer. It's insane, isn't it? Watch videos that you don't like. Why? Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is our wishes fulfilled. That's what we really want. You're much happier, Tarot Destroyer, if you just watch things that you like. So trying to change the rest of the world to like the same things as you. Doesn't care. We don't care what you're into. Shouldn't care what we're into either. Nine of Cups. One of the most joyful and harmonious cards of the tarot, but it's feeling kind of heavy, isn't it? It's not feeling joyful and harmonious today. It's feeling kind of heavy. It's almost like, why can't I get my Nine of Cups? Why can't I get my Nine of Cups? The Nine of Cups indicates a time of satisfaction and completion. Your wishes and desires are finally beginning to manifest, leaving you with a renewed sense of emotional stability and spiritual strength. You're at a healed stage that comes after struggles have passed. Now's the time to enjoy life's pleasures and luxuries after everything you've worked for and experienced. A positive balance of self-fulfilled dreams and intuitive insights. Your instincts and psychic abilities are on high. Trust them. It's in the negative, this card again. You may be experiencing setbacks, disappointment, or a feeling of loss, as if something important is missing. Are you indulging in things that are taken away from other areas of your life, which are preventing you from connecting with your higher self? How are your relationships with others at this time? Is there anything you may be taking for granted? There's delays, setbacks, disappointment. Can't get our wishes, getting more chaos instead. But we're putting the work in. It's like, when am I going to get my stuff? The moon. Don't know. To answer that question, I don't know. The moon. It's into the unknown. We need to step into something now, whether we're ready or not. Coming ready or not. The moon. The moon is a card of sensitivities, dreams, imagination, and psychic powers. It may indicate a time of insecurity due to external influences or forces in your life. Who or what is holding you back from connecting with your higher self? The moon also addresses the deeper realms of the subconscious and the shadow thoughts and feelings we experience as humans. It's important to acknowledge this side of yourself as a balancing contrast to your lighter or happier facets, but not to let it take over your mind completely. The moon is also a card of illusion. Things are not necessarily as they seem. It is therefore important to let go of any past traumas or influences that are distorting your perception. It's therefore important to let go of any past traumas or influences that are distorting your perception. That's green card. Got to see things from a different perspective. Maybe than the perspective that we've seen it from our whole life. Because we create these stories, don't we, to explain it, and then we stick to that, and it's not necessarily allowing us to move beyond it. Remember, we create our experiences and reality from the vibrational quality of our thoughts. The power of your mind is limitless. How can I work with the darker aspects of my thoughts and feelings in order to move forward? How can I work with my shadow self? How can I tune into my psychic abilities? You're overcoming bad habits or temptations and are able to reach out from the obscurity of the darkness. Listening to your dreams, psychic visions and intuition will provide you with a clearer direction. Try looking at the roots of your more negative feelings or emotions. They are there to communicate something. Continue to confront your fears and your self-confidence will only increase. Think about what you're truly grateful for. After this, you may notice the universe providing you with wonderful synchronicities. Gratitude. Oh, if only if it was that easy. That magic gratitude thing. That really worked for me. I think because I didn't have that much to be truly grateful for in my life, I do now. But now I'm actually grateful. I mean, I don't have to feign it. I don't have to try. It's not a practice. It's just, you've got good things in your life. You're grateful. That's another wounded one, isn't it? A wounded teaching from spirituality about that feigning gratitude thing. Three of Swords, the heartbreak card. No one can break our hearts. They can just break our expectations. Nah, bullshit. That's bullshit. That is wounded teaching too. That's bypassing. Of course they can break our heart. A more ominous card than most, Three of Swords often reflects moments of loss, pain, betrayal, or heartache. Although the presence of these obstacles may feel overwhelming, very often a greater lesson will transform out of the darkness. From these experiences comes the clarity and potential to create new opportunities. How we face adversity can have a lifelong effect on our happiness and consciousness if we choose to habitually focus on the negativity. Your innate strength and wisdom will emerge as you realize your full potential to grow and learn from past mistakes or challenges. You alone have the power to rise above the shadows to reach a higher state of being. We can do it. I'm feeling, all of these cards are reverse, because I'm feeling this is a more positive card. And the positive cards I'm feeling as negative cards. We can rise above it. You're emerging out of a negative phase of your life. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Now you must continue to move forward into the unknown. You have acknowledged your pain and been able to process it into a positive learning experience. Know that love is not only still present in your life, it will begin to increasingly reveal itself more as you heal within. Healing. But we need to be courageous, and step into the unknown. So again, it's that message that we want confirmation. We want confirmation that it's going to be positive, what we're moving into. We can't have that. We can't have the confirmation. We need to be brave, and we need to trust ourselves. So we need to look back at the past and really own it and say, well, I see why I chose that. And I know that I wouldn't choose that again because maybe because of this, because I've had my energy back from it. Yeah, could be this. 4 of crystals, because I'd hold my energy back from that or take my time with it this time. Although you've reached a wonderful state of success, it may be a good time to take a closer look at your priorities. Are you spending too much time focusing on materialistic things or personal affluence such as possessions, the accumulation of wealth, or social status? What are we spending our energy on, our time on, money on? You should continue to take pride in all that you've achieved, but not let the illusion of physical wealth get in the way of who you really are. This can indicate the desire for stability, settling, or a conservative lifestyle that prevents any risk-taking behavior. Oh, this can indicate the desire for stability, settling, or a conservative lifestyle that prevents any risk-taking behavior. We do need to take a risk. It can also reflect hoarding or negative attachments that stunt personal growth or change. Is there a void you're trying to fill emotionally by holding on to things that mask a sense of security in your life? Well, I very much doubt with you guys that it's going to be excessive materialism. It's more likely to be fear of poverty. It's more likely to be the opposite way around this. Spending too much time focusing on work and not prioritizing your energy in a healthy way. That can come from fear of lack. Try spending some time with yourself and the people you love. An opportune time to maintain balance, or else important opportunities or experiences may go unnoticed. There's a resistance to change here. This isn't necessarily a good thing. It feels like there's a resistance to head into the unknown here and to take a risk. And it's a protective mechanism from heartbreak instead of, and you might be explaining it away as a healthy thing, taking our time with something, but really it's lack of courage. It's our excuses. You think it's lovely? It doesn't feel lovely though, does it? We like the carrot ones, really. We do. It might be that it's just time to take it more lightly, like this, and take a risk and go into it without so much fear and just trying it and see. See if we're ready for something new now. See if we're ready for something different. See what reflections come back to you now. It's been a message that's been coming out the last couple of days in the energy updates. Maybe you're attracting different now. Probably are. I think I am. It's interesting. One of my friends that I'm not that friendly with, really, wasn't sure whether I really wanted her to come to the party. She kind of did and she kind of didn't. She never came back. It's like other things happen to keep it clear when it's not right. You're a chicken, Carrie. You feel like pushing your person away because then you hurt yourself. Yeah. He doesn't hurt you. Yep. Yeah, that's that holding the energy back, right? Holding our energy back, that 4 of crystals. We can tell ourselves it's the right thing to do, but really it's a fearful thing to do. Well, let's talk about relationships a bit more then. With these cards. Betrayal. The one that cheated in some kind of a way, took your money, or cheated on you with someone else. It's a problem. So, are they going to go through all the different kind of wounds that we can have in relationships? Betrayal. Can't trust somebody. How can I trust someone when they betray me? Because of self-worth. Right, so there's the choice behind it. Self-worth. So this is... oh no, it's going to be one of those days. So this is why we chose it in the first place, because our self-worth was lacking. So we've chosen something that isn't right for our energy, and then it betrays us. Of course it betrays us, because it wasn't a match. It's like we're not connecting with our higher selves when we choose that, and then it doesn't work out. But when you've got higher self-worth, choose different. You attract it all, but there's something about when you empower yourself and you, it's like the universe backs you up on it. If you empower yourself, like I said, like, you know, the wrong people end up not being able to come to your party or whatever. Things like that. Other things don't work out. You don't have to do all yourself, is what I'm saying. It's a co-creation with the universe. So for some of you that have been betrayed by someone in relationships, that's the key to it. It was just a lack of self-worth that you had that had you choosing that in the first place. Settling. Lack of self-worth causes us to settle. When we settle, we'll get someone that will betray us. Why? Because their energy isn't a true match. Because when it's a true match, that betrayal won't happen. Right? If you wouldn't betray them, your true match wouldn't betray you either. But you need great self-worth to choose that. Thanks, Arabella. Naivety, that's a big one as well. That, you know, positive thinking and just seeing the best in everyone, that kind of naivety. Not seeing people as they really are. Thinking that they're an angel and they're a devil. Oh, God. This. I've done this so many times. Yikes. And now I'm more likely to do it the opposite way around. So everyone's the devil until they've proved themselves to me that they're not. So how come we were so naive then? 2 reasons. Defensiveness and receiving. Oh. It's like trying to defend. Oh, how can I put this? You know it's about you. You know you deserve to receive. But it's not happening because most people out there have got shitty energy, let's face it. And can't give because they're not doing the self-love things. Very few self-lovers out there. And so there's this defending your right to receiving has you focused on people in a too positive way, rose tinted glasses, looking at them as if they're angels when they're not. When they're not. It's almost like a proving your self-worth by trying to be positive about people. Trying any which way to receive from people what it is that you want. If what you want isn't out there, then we have to pretend that it is. Pretend that they're good people when they're not. Defending our right to receive has us looking at people as if they are angels when really they're devils, thinking that we can get what it is that we want from them and we can't. So we'll try any which way to get what it is that we want from people, the kind of behaviours that we want from people, you know. Arabella, the minimum went up to 10. I should remind people that, because you old-timers that have been here a long time, you don't look at the pinned comment because you know what to do already. Neediness. Oh, I hate this energy. I hate me when I'm in this energy as well. I've been in this energy, especially with the toxic ones, the narcissists. If you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, we've all been this person here, clinging on to them. Why? Isn't it interesting? There's a hunk in the shower again. Isn't it interesting? We get clingy with the... Do you do this too? With the toxic ones. It's like there's so much lack of security that we try and cling to. It makes us feel so insecure that we're clinging to it even more. I don't like when this is done with me, when people cling to me. And I don't like when I'm, worse still is I don't like when I'm in this energy. It's kind of an addiction, I think. We get addicted to the things that aren't good for us. The most highly addictive foods are the things that aren't good for us. The most highly addictive relationships are the ones that aren't good for us. Giving. Wow, that's codependency. That's what that is, codependency. So that neediness is because we choose the damaged ones and then want to give to them because we like giving. It's the fixer, the rescuer. It's that part of us. That's quite a lot to unravel. So when we get clingy, it's to the most toxic because it's a kind of an addiction. And the addiction is of rescuing people, helping people, giving to them. I like giving to them. You like loving. The ones that need the love most, the ones that we ended up being needy around. Neediness, not a good thing. Someone says they need you. Well, you can't have me then. They're now trying to stop the pattern of familiar, like sadness. Yeah, like the emotional set point. The predominant feelings are the bandwidth that we've got for our happiness. How good will I allow myself to feel? How resolute am I not to feel bad at all? So if anyone makes me feel slightly bad, they're out. And we don't like doing that, right? We don't like being fickle like that. But if we do it, it really works out well for us. if we get really particular about the energies that we'll let into our lives, so much so that we've got very high standards. And yes, some people cannot meet those standards, and that's their loss. It can make us feel terrible, like we're doing a bad thing, like we should be nice to people instead. So codependency coming up here as well. So isn't that interesting? Both giving and receiving there. Addicted to giving, but also trying to defend our right to receive things, going to the wrong people, but pretending that they're the right people, fooling ourselves. It's the carrots, the ones that we get those perfect readings for sunshine and lollipops, unicorns. And it's tempting to watch those readings. I know it is. That's why those channels are doing so well on YouTube, the ones that will do that. Always helping, always saving. Yeah, yep. I just can't be bothered anymore. Hey, I won't step in. Let's close the curtain. Oh, there's chicken. Hey. Hey. Didn't see you yesterday. Hi, Bella. Okay, let's see what you guys want to tell you. I don't do it anymore. I take a step back. I let people go through their own stuff. It's been particularly interesting lately because the gym's closing down in a month. And here's my money. And he asked to borrow my money, and I said no, because you can't pay it back. And alright, old me wouldn't do that, wouldn't say no. But I can take a step back and I can let people deal with their own stuff now. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. And then this other thing as well, they're pretty sure it's not going to happen, but because it's not in alignment. I let it go. I didn't talk about it. I talked about it to one of my friends. I said, you know that I'm thinking of doing this. And she was in agreement with me. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. Yeah, and we've got to be careful of that too, is like stepping in, saving people, helping people. The whole interfering with karma, not letting people get the correct feedback and do it themselves and empower themselves. Trying to help. And helping, it really isn't helping. It's delaying the progress. They're doing it for themselves. Arabella. Oh, this is similar. Innocent, soften and open. So you need to know that you're innocent. So you know how I was saying before, I recall like with my family, them making me the wrong one, like I was a bad person, when it was the opposite way around. And projection. You've had something similar happen, but you're innocent and you need to realize that. So much projection, but we believe it. Can't believe it. You're not to believe it anymore. So you're a bit closed down because of this, believing that you're not innocent. It's kind of like self-forgiveness, but it's not self-forgiveness. It's realizing that we didn't do anything in the first place to deserve it. Right. Yeah, and that's why, because it has you feeling closed down. It has you closing down, like, I'm not sure I can go for what it is that I want. I'm not sure I can take that risk and reach for what it is that I want because I'm intrinsically bad. Yeah. And so I have to close down. So it's all about that. So yours is going way back to the origins of not feeling good enough, not feeling like you're a good person. Because it has you not taking risks, not being open. You know how some motivational speakers will say, what would you do if you knew that it would work out? If it all work out, what would you do then? If you knew something was going to work out, what is it that you'd do? It's an interesting question because that shows what you would really go for. But these cards are saying that you're not doing that. You're not going for what you really want. I saw a clip yesterday on Facebook, and it was from that movie, The Notebook, where he says to her, what do you want? What do you want? You're too busy, so busy pleasing others. What do you want? What do you want? You know, the bit that I'm talking about. And she's crying because she's wounded. She doesn't even think about what she wants. And he says, not what your parents want for you, not what I want, not what the other guy wants. What do you want? And she can't even go there. She doesn't know what she wants. That shows a complete lack of self-care, and I get that. I recall that I was at that point too. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted for myself. I just wanted to make everyone else happy. Now I know what I want for myself. Yeah, so this is about self-care, isn't it? It really is. It always is. It always comes back to self-love. And the damage that's done, often early on, that has us not loving ourselves. This is saying like we need to take a risk on things. We need to step into the unknown now. In a way, I'm getting this. It's a bit of a worry. I'm getting this message that those positive tarot readings are false, are the carrots. Because if you think about it, a real relationship is not going to be a perfect reading, would it? Because they're a human being. And then that whole teaching of, oh, if they're the right one, it would all be working out, and they wouldn't have red flags, and there wouldn't be this, there wouldn't be delays, there wouldn't be, you know. You don't know what you want, Kate. I know what I want. I want lots of things now. Oh, confusion. Yeah. But I'm confused. Give it all. Right. People don't want to hear it all. One majority of people don't anyway. Family. Ugh. What does family mean to you? That word. Ugh. Not had good experiences with the family. Never, ever, ever have I had a good experience with family. Not one. Not one. Not my parents, not my brother, not my extended family, not my children. Mm-mm. But, and it's interesting because my counselor asked me for the definition of a mother. She wanted me to realize that my family were not the things that they should have been to me. And so she had me like give her a definition of what a mother is. And she put it on this big paper. And then she's like, okay, now describe your mother to me. To show how glaringly different they were. And she's like, okay, so this woman that gave birth to you, she wasn't a mother, right? Because she didn't have any of those attributes. She had these attributes instead. I'm like, right, okay, yeah. So cannot really call her your mother because she didn't do any of those things that a mother is, right? It's like, oh, that's true. And it's like just realizing that and having that confirmation. That's what I'm getting from this card. What's she doing? Chicken, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're cleaning your tail. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to make you jump. She's cleaning her tail at the edge of the sink, and she's right on the edge, and she's banging her necklace, collar, bling, on the sink. I made her jump. She didn't know I was coming. She was engrossed in it. Family. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling fear around this. As I tap into that, I'm like, family, what does family feel like? Oh, it's not good. It's intense fear for me. Now, saying that, now I know what the definitions of these things are, mother, father, all of that kind of thing. I can find those qualities in other people, especially that I'm around now. Yes. And that feels good. Just have a positive experience around family. This, respect. Yeah, to be respected. Wow, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Respect. It's familiarity, isn't it? Familiarity about family. Choose the familiar, and it's not a good thing. It's like, oh, this must be love. They're hurting me. Like my family did. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. And then I see someone else in a family situation, in a family environment that isn't good as well. And that's hard to see. But also seeing breaking away from that too. Power. You instinctively know what's right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. I think this is saying that we might trip up again, that we might fall for these things again. All the reasons, the lack of self-worth that had us choosing people that would betray us, this trying to receive any which way, so seeing people as angels instead of seeing them as they really are, this needing to give. I mean, that neediness and giving, that is codependency, because that's what we do. We want to gain our self-esteem through giving to other people, is what it is. We need to be needed by them. And so, power. When we trip up and we do it again and we recognize that we're in that position again and we've chosen someone similar, we say no, we walk away. At any time, at any point, as soon as you notice it, you walk away. You don't stay in it. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become a reality. Soon. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Okay. This what do you call it? Threshold that we've been on for a very long time. This soon. It's coming soon. I want some of these cards. Okay. Yeah, Maria. Okay, let's get the dark cards out. The Mystic. The Mystic flew out. Seen something that other people haven't seen. And that's where the transformation's coming from. The butterfly. From your heart. Healing your heart. Seeing things that other people don't see. What's a loving person? What is that to you? Like you being a loving person, what is that? Is that you being able to put up with anything? Is that you being able to please everybody? Is that you... Yeah, what makes you into a loving person? Or is it you being 100% truthful with people, even if that is being in their face and you being powerful with them when they show you the wrong thing, when they do the wrong thing by you? Is that loving? What would love do? Such an interesting question, isn't it? What would love do? Well, I've changed my mind about that. What the loving thing is to do. Seed has been planted. It's complicated, the riddle. There's a path to it. The universe is helping us get there, to unconditional love. Having this conversation with a friend of mine about unconditional love, and it's like, you know someone really loves you if they can't be with you and they're still there for you. Do you know what I mean? If they can't have what they want to have from you, but they're still there for you. Consistent. It's... In a way, we can only have good relationships if there's a lot of adversity around them, because then you get to see whether they really are, whether they really love you or not. Because if they really love you, they want the best for you, no matter what. There's none of this neediness or anything like that. They just want the best for you. And likewise, you them. Seed has been planted. But the riddle means it's a complicated path to it. I used to have one of those knots. What do they call it? I used to have a soapstone. One of these knots. Like, thing. Whatever you call them. Ornament. Crystal ornament. There's something about completion here as well. The 10 of crystals, 10 of pentacles, 10 of crystals. There's something about completion. It's a long, confusing path to get there. But it all makes sense in the end. Why you had to go through this. Why the seed was planted. So we've asked for this thing. We've been manifesting it for ages, apparently. This unconditional love that we want. We know we're able to do it because we've done this. The naivety, thinking people are good when they're not. But it's maybe not the best for you. Giving that to people that haven't earned that, or that aren't unable to reciprocate it because they're not loving themselves. Got anything else from this? I feel so heavy, the energy. I know it's got good information, and maybe it's just because I'm tired. I feel it very heavy, this one. Oh, God. Fountain. A long journey, not just complicated. It's a marathon. It's not a walk in the park. So, yeah, there might be a lot more to come. Sorry, we're not there yet. We think we've done enough, but we haven't. There's more healing to go. But we will. We'll get there. Persevere. What's the option anyway? Go back to what we were doing? Nah. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for coming along. I will make a bigger card read today, I'm sure. I'll probably just do a love tarot because that's nice and easy. And put that out later today. And nothing else. Let's do this again on Wednesday. And I'll be a bit more lively, I promise. Thanks everyone for coming along. Have a good one. Have a good day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I'll see you all in 2 days' time. Good luck with it. Don't forget to join our community on Facebook if you're not already. And I will see you later.